Test number 3, sections 1.1 through 6.3. This is our study guide. First question, directions say to graph the inequality. You need to draw yourself, it only has one variable, so we need to draw ourselves a number line. It says x is less than or equal to 5. Remember, you want to show relation. You want to show the number 0 and 5 and how it's related. It's positive, so it'll be over there on the right. It says less than or equal to. Since it says or equal to, that means the bubble that we have is going to be colored in. If it had not said or equal to, we'd have left it alone. Less than, remember, your negative numbers on this side and your positive numbers on this side, which means your smaller numbers are where your negative numbers are. Less than means it's smaller, so you're going to shade everything that way. X is less than or equal to 5. Write an inequality for the graph given. Okay, notice for this one you have the number 8 highlighted for you, so you need x, I'm sorry, not 8, but negative 8, x and negative 8, and then what you need to do is you need to put an inequality symbol in the middle of it. We're either going to be talking about greater than or less than. Notice that it's an open bubble. That means it's not or equal to. Again, your negative numbers are here and your positive numbers are here, which means your larger numbers are where your positive numbers are. So that's saying everything that's larger than negative 8 or everything that's greater than negative 8. 3 says Tina can type at least 60 words a minute. That's one of those phrases that you have to understand. You have to memorize if you can't remember it. At least 60 words per minute. Again, you want the variable x. You can use any letter you want. X is just usually the most common one. And 60, and then you have to put yourself an inequality in the middle. At least means it's going to be 60 or more. So if it says at least 60 words per minute, 60 or more means greater than or equal to would be inequality. And then when you would graph that, you do just like the graph that we looked at for number 2. Again, you don't have to show all the way through 60. Just show its relation to 0. It's on the right side of 0. So 0 and 60. And it says at least, and we put greater than or equal to, which means that we colored our bubble in at 60. And greater than means all of the numbers that are larger, or everything to the right of 60. Okay, we're solving the inequality, then we're graphing the solution. X minus 1 is less than or equal to negative 9. Get rid of minus 1 by adding it, just like an equation. If you add it to the left side, you have to add the same thing to the right side. This leaves us with x. This part here cancels out. Negative 9 plus 1 is negative 8. And all we did was add right there, so we don't have to flip or reverse our inequality sign. So x is less than or equal to negative 8. Then graph your solution again. You only have to show two numbers, 0 and negative 8. Since negative 8 is negative, obviously, it'll be on the left side of 0. Then it says less than or equal to negative 8. So that means we're going to color our bubble in. Then we have to decide, do we go to the left or to the right? Our smaller numbers are to the right. It's saying less than, so we're going to shade everything that way. Number 5 says negative x over 4 is less than or equal to 2. Remember, this can be written as negative x over 4 or x over negative 4. That negative just has to be either at the top or the bottom. It's actually easier to look at it as x over negative 4. It saves you a step in an equation like this. So that says x over negative 4 or x divided by negative 4. Undo that by multiplying by negative 4. If you multiply the left by negative 4, do the same thing on the right. This will cancel out the division of it and leave you with just x. 2 times negative 4 will give you negative 8. Then since we multiplied by a negative number, anytime you multiply or divide by a negative, your inequality symbol, which is less than or equal to at this point, will reverse and become greater than or equal to. So this would be our inequality. X is greater than or equal to negative 8. And when we would graph that, again, we want two numbers, negative 8 and its relation is 0, just like the last graph. Greater than or equal to means we color our bubble in anytime it says or equal to. And greater than means all of the numbers that are larger. So we're going to shade everything to the right. We're solving this inequality. Now we're looking at compound inequalities. Um, Instead of having just a left and a right side now you have a left, a middle, and a right. You want to get at the end of it, you want to get x all by itself in the middle. That's our goal. In order to do that, though, we have to undo two steps that's going on. So we have to undo our addition and subtraction first. So get rid of minus 4 by adding 4. The difference between this, since it's compound and a regular inequality, though, like we said, it has a left, a middle, and a right. So since we added 4 to the middle, we have to do likewise to all of the other sections. In this case, we have to do it to both the left and the right. Negative 8 plus 4 will leave us with negative 4. 2x will stay alone, or stay there. Negative 4 plus 4 will cancel out. That's what we were trying to do. And then 4 plus 4 will be 8. All we did was added 4 right there. We didn't multiply or divide by a negative number, so we will leave our symbols alone. Less than or equal to stays the same, and so does less than. Now we have to get rid of the multiplication or times 2 in the middle. In order to do that, we divide by 2. Anything you do in the middle, you have to do to the left and the right as well. Divide the left by 2 and divide the right by 2. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. 2 divided by 2 cancels out and leaves you with just x. And then 8 divided by 2 is 4. We divided by a positive number, not negative, so your symbols will stay the same. Less than or equal to will remain less than or equal to, and less than will remain less than. Here is your inequality. When you graph this, this is an and inequality. So that means it'll probably show some overlap. Negative 2 is on the left, positive 4 is on the right. We'll just leave it to show those two for right now instead of including 0. Now, this is the part that's a little bit confusing to people. The first inequality is easy to see, or this part of the inequality, x is less than 4. The reason that's easy to see is because it's in the order that you're looking at it. X is less than 4. So that's one of them. If you were to graph x is less than 4, it would be an open circle because it's not or equal to, and it would show everything less than 4. And I stopped it there just for a second because we're probably going to stop it at negative 2, but it would show everything to the left. The other one is the one that's harder to see, only because it's in a different order than you read it. This says negative 2 is less than or equal to x. You can read that as x is greater than or equal to negative 2, but most people have trouble with that. So take the two values. Take the first one, which is x, and let's just put it first as x, and then take the second one, which is negative 2, and let's just put it second as negative 2. So all we're doing is reordering it. Then at this point, make sure the point of your inequality symbol, and this is our point right here, is on the same side. Notice it's on the negative 2 side, so put that point on the negative 2 side. It says less than or equal to where it was, we're creating greater than or equal to. And we're going to graph that inequality on the same graph. So that says greater than or equal to 2. That means anytime it says or equal to, you color your bubble in, and it's showing everything to the right. So what we're going to wind up with is the numbers between negative 2 and 4. For number 7, get rid of minus 10 by adding it. If you add 10 to the middle, do the same thing to the left and the same thing to the right. Negative 2 plus 10 is a positive 8. 4x will stay the same. Negative 10 plus 10 will cancel. 6 plus 10 is 16. All we did was add 10, so our inequalities remain unchanged. They both stay as less than. Then get rid of 4 times something by dividing by 4. Divide the middle, make sure you do the same thing to the left and the right. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 4 divided by 4 cancels out and leaves you with just x. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Now we divided right here, but we divide by a positive number, not a negative. So your symbols will remain unchanged. Less than stays the same, and less than stays the same. So here is your inequality. Again, looking at this as two separate inequalities, one of them says x is less than 4. That's the one that's easy to see. That's this one here. X is less than 4. The other one is the one that's harder to see. X's relation to the 2. Put the X first and the 2 second, and make sure the point is on the same side, 2. So it's on that side of 2, and for that one, it's going to be on that side of 2. We want to graph both of those inequalities on the same number line. You have the number 2 and you have the number 4. The first inequality says X is less than 4. That's an open bubble, and that's showing everything this direction. The second one says X is greater than. This one says greater than 2. Remember, if you get confused between less than and greater than, one thing you could do is when you're looking at less than, if you kind of cock your head to the side a little bit, you can read it to say less than. That's this one here, less than. But the next one says X is greater than 2. So again, an open bubble because you don't count it because it doesn't say or equal to, and it's saying everything greater than 2. So that would be pointing to everything to the right. And that's how your graph would look for 7. C minus 12 is greater than negative 1. Get rid of minus 12 by adding it. This is just a regular inequality, not a compound. If you do it to the left, do the same thing to the right. You still have C. This will cancel. Negative 1 plus 12 will be a positive 11. All we did was add 12, so your inequality remains unchanged. C is greater than 11. For this next one, you have to combine like terms before you try to undo anything. So you need to put 6.7 and 4.3 together. Luckily, 7 and 3 are complements, so that'll give us 10, and we add that to that one we carry to the 10 that we have, and it actually gives us 11.0. You don't need to show the 0.0. Plus Q, and we'll leave our inequality symbol to stay the same and bring down our other number. Now we have to get rid of positive or plus 11. In order to do that, we want to subtract 11. If you subtract it on the right, make sure you subtract 11 on the left. Negative 5.3 minus 11 will be negative 16.3. You add those up since they both say negative. This will cancel out and leave you with just Q on the right side. And then all you did was subtract it, so you don't have to reverse your inequality symbol. Greater than or equal to will stay as greater than or equal to. If you rewrite this, if you were to graph it, you can reorder it and put the Q first and the negative 16.3 second. And if you do that, just make sure wherever your point is and that it's on the Q side, make sure it's on the Q side here as well. Notice when everything's reversed like this, the symbol is reversed. Okay, for this one, we need to distribute negative 2 first. Since it's right outside of the parentheses, negative 2 times A is negative 2A. Negative 2 times negative 12 is a positive 24. Bring the rest of our problem down, A plus 8 and greater than 0. Then we combine our like terms, A and negative 2A. When you put those two together, you get negative 1A. We can also put some other terms together. We can put 8 and positive 24 together and get a positive 32. It's greater than 0. Get rid of your plus 32 by subtracting it. If you do it to the left, subtract 32 to the right. This will cancel and leave you with just negative 1A. 0 minus 32 is negative 32. All we did was subtract it, so greater than will remain as greater than. Now it says negative 1 times A. Undo that by dividing by negative 1. If you divide the left by negative 1, do the same thing to the right. This will cancel and leave you with just A. Negative 32 divided by negative 1 will be a positive 32. But since we divided by a negative number, our inequality will flip and become less than. 2 times B, you have to distribute it as 2B. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16, greater than 12. Get rid of minus 16 by adding it. Add it to the left, add it to the right. You get 28. Bring down your 2B, and this part will cancel. Get rid of, you have greater than. Get rid of 2 times B by dividing by 2. This will cancel and leave you with B is greater than 14.